You need to ask questions. So what we're going to do, we're going to look at what the test looks like. The test is two parts, okay? And there's a part A and there's a part B. So Miss Kifa, I'm Miss Kifa, just in case y'all forgot, because we've been off of school for a whole day. All right, you go to, okay, Alisa's here. All right. All right, so we go to AP Classroom. From AP Classroom, we go to AP Capstone. From there, we go to classwork. Okay, now Ms. Kifa has designated things in different ways. Let me explain. I'm Ms. Kifa, by the way. Again, I'm saying it again. You have something called end of course. They call it EOC. If you notice, there's a lot of acronyms in this course, okay? So we have IRR, which is our first report that you did with your group. You have TMP, which is your presentation that you did with your group. And then you have IWA, which is your individual report. And then you have IWP, which is IMP, which is your individual presentation. Now we have something called EOC, which is end of course exam. So I wanted to go over, I have given you the, let's open this. Okay, this is what it's going to look like. It's going to have two parts. Okay, I have given you sample responses so that you can understand how you are supposed to respond to these things. This is not a multiple choice test. You have to write. And we need to practice our writing. You can get totally up to, today is April 9th. Our test is April 7th. So basically our last day of study is May 6th. Okay? You have to sacrifice a little bit. All of us have holidays and all of us have things coming up. But for the next month, if you're, especially if you're taking more than one AP exam. All right? So this is what the first part, part A, will look like. I have chosen this because it has some actual responses. Okay. So let me open it up. What tool do I stupid use for it? Hold on a second. So this is me opening up the doc. Hold on a second. And we're also going to have to practice how to write an essay and come up with a thesis sentence. All right. So here we go. And if you notice, they will give you what we call a prompt. All right. And this prompt, who would like to read the questions? Anyone? Anyone? Hello?
I can read.
Please go ahead.
Read the following passages and respond to prompts A1, A2, and A3. A1, identify the author's argument, main idea, or thesis.
All right, awesome. So let's put these down. If you guys are taking notes, let's pretend like we're taking notes. So like if I was you, I would be writing, I'm gonna write in the chat. I would be writing down the word argument. Okay, I can't write. I would be writing down the word. These are things that you really need to learn. What else do they have? What else is coming? I would write down the word main idea and I'll write down thesis. Now look, argument, main idea, and thesis, these are three separate things. You need to be careful. Your main idea is what builds your thesis, and then from there you build your argument. Okay? Now, line of reasoning. I don't think you guys have taken this before. Line of reasoning is where you take the author's claims and you make a direct line to them to evidence. Okay? So guys, give me a claim. Anyone, give me a claim. Any type of claim, whatever you want. Hello?
Whites are better than blacks.
Okay, awesome. Awesome, Kian. Always thank you Thank you for the controversy. All right. Do you have any evidence to support that?
Of course, miss. We used to
No.
rule them back in the 1800s, miss.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, and I don't think you're white.
Okay. So
Well, yeah, partly.
we have here Kian's claim that whites are better than blacks. Okay. And please, God, don't let anybody see this recording. And his evidence is the fact that we owned them like as slaves. That is his evidence. Now, your job, do you think, guys, do you think that evidence is enough? Is that legitimate evidence?
No.
Why?
Because ما في like an actual proof about this. يعني مش هيك بس إنه I don't know.
Well, basically, I mean, what he's actually used power dynamics. Power dynamics is not a proof of superiority. He's saying that whites are superior to blacks. In order to prove that, you would have to use either biological, mental, and or social. Okay, those would be actual strong, we would need hard facts. Slavery was a fact, but it was not a result of anything that is their fault. Okay? Meeting ID. What is she talking about? Do we have a meeting ID? Did any of you guys use a meeting ID to get in? You just clicked on, right?
Yeah, just a link.
Yeah. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to try to go along, and I wanted you to look at answers, okay? كمان عشان يساعدكم to see how we're going to start looking at other people's answers so we can learn how to build our own. All right? Now, you see what I just tried to do with his argument, I tried to go over the effectiveness that he used. So for example, my claim is that there is global warming. All right? I would need evidence to support that. So my evidence are basic facts. I have the National Weather Service of the United States, the fact that temperatures have been increasing. Temperatures increasing, global warming. I can also talk about the fact that the eradication of forests, deforestation, okay? And then we can show how that contributes to global warming. So there's the effectiveness of my, there's two people waiting room. And that's the effectiveness of my evidence. Those are basic facts, and I'm also using scientific sources. Now, if we were talking about global warming, what is that girl's name? The Greta girl? You know who I'm talking about.
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah. Is she a reliable source about global warming?
No,
Yes.
she just wants money.
She what?
She just wants money and fame.
Okay, okay, those are motivations, but is she a reliable source about global warming?
I would say, yeah, she is.
She's a secondary source, but she got her information from primary sources, which is all the facts that we see, all the different science organizations, and the people have been collecting data. Does that make sense? Anyone?
طيب, but does that make it unreliable, يعني?
No, she's an advocate, but she's not a scientist. Okay, she has brought awareness, and she's a secondary source. Okay, just for some on Hiba's sake, okay, there's different tiers to information. You guys have to remember this when you are lining up the reasoning and the claim with the evidence. Okay, and you're making connections. What kind of evidence did they use? If I read something off of BuzzFeed, is it the same as if I read something off of the National Health Institution? هم نفس الوزن?
No.
No.
Okay. So you have to remember what types of information. Tier 1 is going to be anything academic or any type of actual research. Tier 2 are going to be different journals or publications. Tier 3 are magazines like Time Magazine or The Economist. Okay, being that they can be biased. So you go down by how biased they are. That's how they rate them. So tier 1 is going to be unbiased because it's based on research and facts. And then going down to tier 5, يعني مستوى خامس, that's going to be stuff like blogs and, you know, like what I said, you know, or maybe even some types of interviews. So let's get started reading and let's see what we can get through. Some of you said you wanted to read. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah, okay, sure. From Why Full Day Kindergarten is Failing Our Children by Charlie Gillis. When German educator Friedrich Frobel opened the world's first kindergartens in the mid-1800s, he frequently found himself at odds with suspicious government officials. Prussia, for example, banned his schools in 1851, characterizing them as hotbeds of socialist subversion and radicalism. How things have changed. Today, most governments want more kindergarten, not less. Even the traditional half-day programs are enough. 5-year-olds in British Columbia, Quebec, New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island all attend full-day kindergarten. Ontario is currently in the 4th year of a 5-year rollout for full-day junior and senior kindergarten, meaning kids as young as 3 attend school all day, 5 days a week. In those provinces without full-day programs, demands are heard regularly. Yet, despite the popularity of full-day kindergarten, particularly among working parents and teachers' unions, the actual benefit it provides to the children themselves is still hotly debated. This September, on the first day of the school year, the Ontario government claimed conclusive evidence of full-day kindergarten's advantages was finally at hand, thanks to a pair of academic studies it commissioned. In every area, students improved their readiness for grade 1 and accelerated their development. A provincial news release declared, Educational Minister Liz Sandals called the results, which tracks students in both half and full-day kindergarten over 2 years, nothing short of incredible. This news was immediately hailed by supporters of the concept. Charles Pascal, the driving force behind Ontario's full-day program, said it showed the program is truly a life changer. In a front-page story, the Globe and Mail dubbed it a landmark study. And yet, there was no study to read, landmark or otherwise. The hype and excitement came from a few bullet points selectively released by the province. The actual reports were nowhere to be seen. The reason for this reticence is now apparent.
Miss, you're muted.
Okay, awesome. All right, gonna go back. I'm gonna go back to my first question. So the first, if I was you, I'd be writing on it. What is my main idea? What is my thesis? What is my argument here? I think my main idea is kindergarten. What do you guys think? What is it about kindergarten?
Do you want someone to answer?
Go ahead.
Maybe that they're ineffective and they're only used as a way to gain money.
Okay. See, I'm looking at the last sentence because obviously it's about kindergartens. Okay. And he said, yet there was no study to read, landmark or otherwise. The hype and excitement came from a full bullet point selectively, from a few bullet points selectively released by the province. The actual reports were nowhere to be seen. The reason for this reticence is now apparent. Oh, let's see what's going on. So basically, he set up the debate that there's only been a few bullet points released. Our subject is kindergartens and their effectiveness, okay? And our thesis, do you guys see a thesis yet? I don't see a thesis. Let's check it
I
out.
don't either.
Yeah. So what's the argument? Let's go down. Who would like to read?
So I think the argument is in the title.
You think so? Let's
Yeah.
we're gonna keep it. Why full day is failing our children. Okay, I put that on this, I'd circle it, but I have to support it. Like, did he use like claims for that? Like he brought doubt to your mind, and they're bringing doubt. Just so these few sentences, they brought doubt. So let's see what's going on. And look, it's going to be a boring subject like this. It's not going to be anything exciting to read. Who would like to read? Anyone? Hello? Guys,
I'd like to read, but like everything's too like I can't read it on the screen.
can you see it now?
Ismail, zoom in.
Where do I start?
Start at the top with the complete.
With the complete reports finally available online, it appears that Ontario's 1.5 billion a year full day kindergarten experiment is a grave disappointment from both pedagogical and financial perspectives. The provincial studies did find that children attending schools marked by low income and/or poor test scores showed improvement in some categories after participating in full day kindergarten. This corresponds with previous research, particularly by Nobel laureate economist James Heckman, which suggested that early intervention can improve school readiness for disadvantaged children. For everyone else, however, the Ontario results range from negligible to abysmal. Not only did most children not receive a distinct advantage from spending all week at school, the results for many were lower than if they stayed in the old half-day system. To be clear, some children appear to have done worse with full-day kindergarten, the report states. The biggest failings were in the categories of emotional maturity, communication skills, and general knowledge. This aligns with complaints that full-day programs impede the social and emotional development of some children by removing them from familial care too early. Special needs kids did particularly poorly. The children with special educational needs showed superior outcomes on the measures of social competence and emotional maturity in non-full-day kindergarten programs. The researchers found calling for more investigation into this troubling result. It's a far cry from declaring the whole thing life-changing or nothing short of incredible. It is worth noting that even those gains identified for some kids are likely to be temporary, a phenomenon that's been identified in numerous other studies. McMaster University economist Philip DeCisa told Maclean's earlier this year that any positive academic effects arising from full-day kindergarten are likely gone by the end of grade 1. Similarly, a study published last year on California's school system found that after 3 years, there were no significant differences in students who attended the all-day kindergarten program and students who attended a traditional kindergarten program. While children from poor or disadvantaged families may derive short-term benefits from extra attention in kindergarten, it defies common sense and financial reality to provide this to all families on a universal basis. The tax system or local authorities are much better suited to targeting children at a risk and at far less cost. All the above suggests taxpayers and provinces that have so far managed to avoid the full-day kindergarten craze ought to consider themselves quite lucky. Earlier this year, for example, Alberta announced it was putting its plans for province-wide full-day kindergarten on hold due to budgetary constraints. Wise move.
So, what do you think? The argument pretty much sticks to the title, why full day is failing our children. So that's basically his argument. I'm still, look, let me put it this way. Sometimes a thesis, you have to come up with it. All right. So I would say with his thesis, he didn't directly make one. All right, I'm seeing that. First of all, he talks about low income and special needs kids. All right. All are not being served by this system. All right. And that basically the less money or less access to money, that his thesis is basically based on the less resources that they have, the less served that they are. Does that make sense? Anyone? Is anybody following me? Hello?
Can you repeat that sentence, please?
See, basically what I see his argument is that it is not a remarkable system, and that these particular kinds of kids, like if I was going to formulate the thesis, these particular kinds of kids are not being, are not passing. So it's not a perfect system. Does that make sense? So he more or less made a claim in his title and or an argument. And this is the proof for it, and we can also build a thesis on it. Sometimes you have to write the thesis. You're not going to find it. Because if we go back through here, I'm going to ask you guys something. You have this on Google Classroom. Can you guys find it? Because this is one of our questions. Identify the author's argument, main idea, or thesis. Do you guys see a thesis and or argument?
I mean, an argument, yeah, but I don't think there's like an actual thesis.
Well, the reason why I'm asking you this, I don't want you to spend the whole test time looking for one. Okay, you might have it, it might not. Now, and the other reason why I'm going through this is because I want you to look what other people wrote and see what they got. So you can understand, Yani, how to start thinking through these things. Okay. Now, so let's go down. Let's see what the questions look like. So they put here. Is this a stupid rubric? I want to get the one where they actually wrote. Hold on a second. So here it goes. Response to A. Gillis argues that although full-day kindergarten can be helpful for those lower income children, because of the large financial burden and negative or lack of impact it has on most students, it should not be implemented into countries as a whole. Okay, did you see that? Do you agree with that? Anyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I agree.
All right, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Is anybody lost? Does anybody know what I'm doing? Hello?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
going to look at the example they have given, like the actual answers.
And I want y'all to look at it. We're gonna start there first and then start on our own stuff. So basically A1, A2. So basically in one point, حطوا إيش المين idea. The main idea is how kindergarten is failing children. And the argument was that poor children or special needs aren't getting served. That's how he supported it. Let me ask you this. Are there any claims made in this article? You know what claims are, yeah?
Yes.
What's a claim?
Supports the argument, basically.
Or like an opinionated statement.
So, so basically he opens his subject with, you know, how kindergartens are a bad thing, how things have changed, the popularity going down. First day of school. So my advice to you, this is what I would be doing. I'd be going through every paragraph with sort of like identifying what it is. Yani ما هي. And the first one would be, this is an introduction paragraph. And then he goes on to explain the subject. Okay. And then he's obviously from Canada. And then from here, he opens up basically where he's going, hotly debated. Now, he puts doubt in your mind with this word, claimed conclusive evidence. All right. So if somebody claims something, it's not more or less supported. So he's starting to put doubt of your into your head. In every area, students improve their readiness for grade 1, accelerate the development. A provincial news release declared. Education Minister Liz Sandals called the results, which tracked children in both half and full day over 2 years, nothing short of incredible. This news was immediately hailed by supporters of the concept. You see, they didn't say all across the board. It's the people who support it. So there's another way that there is doubt, or he's trying to bring in another viewpoint. The driving force behind Ontario's full-day program said it shows the program as a life changer. And yet, there was no study to read, landmark or otherwise. The hype and excitement came from a few bullet points, selectively, look at the word he chose, selectively released by the province. The actual reports were nowhere to be seen. The reason for this reticence is now apparent. Some of you are not going to understand reticence. Okay, even there's some words you only write them, you never use them in real life. But so all of this, again, doubt. Okay, so what's up? So I come here. With the complete reports, we got 10 minutes left. Do y'all want to continue? Like I send another link? If it cuts off after 10?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Yeah, why not, miss?
Now, with the complete reports finally available online, it appears Ontario's, so here it goes, here's his argument. Finally, they're available online. The full day kindergarten is a grave disappointment. Okay, dude, why? From both pedagogical and financial perspectives. So he has two arguments. Okay, where's your pedagogical thing? You know what pedagogy is? It just means education. It's a fancy word for education. So he's saying, so if I was going to write, so he says, how did he support his idea in education? He also claims it's a grave disappointment. That's claim 1. All right. He also says it's a financial disappointment. Okay. Can y'all see this? So I wrote like that. That's what I would probably do. So, okay, there's his claims. The provincial studies did find that attending schools marked by low income and poor test scores showed improvement in some categories after participating full-day kindergarten. Okay. This corresponds to previous research, particularly by Nobel laureate Blobbity Blue, which suggested that early intervention can improve school readiness for disadvantaged children. For everyone else, however, the Ontario results raised from negligible to abysmal. Okay, where's the evidence? Not only did most children receive a distinct, up till now, we only have statements, and he does have this guy, okay, but he basically argued against himself. Not only did most children did not receive a distinctive advantage from spending all week at school, the results for many were lower. Okay, he made a claim. The results for many, can I highlight? Were lower than if they had stayed in the old half-day system. So actually, his real argument is full-day kindergarten is a grave disappointment. So that's it. What do we call this? This is his claim, more or less. Okay, so that's C. To be clear, some children appear to have done worse, the report states. The biggest failings were in categories of emotional maturity, communication. Okay, so there's claim 1. So this is our evidence, E. Okay. He also claims special needs kids, okay, evidence 1, 2. You can't just say stuff, you have to say why. All right? After. So basically, you have to remember it's full day kindergarten. It is worth noting that even those gains identified for some kids are likely to be temporary. Okay, that's another one. Here's another thing of evidence, another claim. A
But
phenomenon,
what does he mean by likely?
likely, I mean, maybe. Okay, it's just a good,
No, like
يعني
I
يمكن
get that, but like, does it just say that it's not proven, or that the majority will have it as like a temporary, like a permanent effect?
So basically, even if they do get benefits from the thing, it's يعني مش راح يعني it's not gonna last. It's likely to be temporary. So even if they get benefits from the kindergarten, it's not gonna last. All right. A phenomena that's been identified in numerous other studies. Ooh, okay, so he makes another claim. Phenomena, all right, which is basically temporary knowledge. McMaster University economists early this year that any positive academic arising for full are largely gone by the end of grade 1. Okay, and here's another piece of evidence. So there's evidence 2. We have the claim, we have 2 evidence here. And so that's what they call educational. While children from poor or disadvantaged families may derive short-term benefits from extra attention, it defies common sense and financial reality to provide this to all families on a universal basis. The local tax are much better suited to targeting children at risk. All right, so this is his basic, that's his claim. He said it was also financial. So this is the financial support. This is support for the financial thing. All right, and then this is also that this is also support his argument. Alberta announced it was putting its plans for province-wide full day care on hold due to budgetary constraints. Okay. So, did anybody understand anything I just did, how I analyzed it? Look, that's my way of analyzing. I'm just trying to show you a technique so that you can start doing it. You might do it differently. Okay, you don't have to do it the way I do it. Me using C's and E's and أربط الأشياء في بعض. Okay, that is up to you, not to me. Go ahead, Bassett.
Miss, I have internet problems. Can I leave?
What?
I have internet problems. Can I leave?
Yes, you may leave. All right. So going down here, I want to go back. Let's see what they got. I swear to God, I didn't even look at the answers. I want to go through this like y'all. I might, you know what? And even if I'm corrected, you know what? If it helps you, you're like, oh, wow, this is where Miss Kifa screwed up. If it helps you remember it for the test, I don't care. Anyways, so that's my thing. Because honestly, look, I've taught AP Lit before and I've taught SAT English. All right. And shoot, it's totally different than this. So that's why I think it's important to go through. So let's go response for B. Wait, let's go back. So B, where's the B section? Hold on. Is B here? So I want to see the no, this is a different one. Sorry, guys. So we'll go back here. Okay. So look how they did this. So we're going to go back to the claims and evidence, excuse me. Here. So response for part B, response for part B would be them to go into the claims and evidence, okay? So this is what his looks like. And there's also part C. And this is another response by somebody else. So this is a high scoring response. Sorry. Let's look at it. Gillis starts by comparing the kindergarten schools when they were just founded to today's schools. He uses places such as British Columbia, Quebec, and New Brunswick to convey how many have moved their kindergarten students to full-time. This is excellent. He totally got the argument that it was half what it was before and got to full-time. Plus, he showcased Ontario's system that has been successful for 4 full years, going on to 5. Then he compares to those areas that don't have full-day programs, which hear many wishes to move to full-day kindergarten. He then how this issue at hand has become quite a hot topic for debate. So they took the whole first page and they summarized it. Good job. And this will probably help you be able to analyze better. To begin, his first comment revolves around Ontario, the country that we learned had a very successful full-day program, how their government had put into a study where it showed the effects. This showed that it had prepared students. Additionally, it shows the claim by having educators have rave about this program for the backing of the new study. That's his first claim. However, in his next claim, do you guys agree with this? Would you add or subtract from it? Anyone?
The first paragraph?
I think
Which
that
paragraph are you talking about?
this one right here, I think this one's excellent. No, they did a super short summary. And they got this tells you about the main idea.